Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Get Fit With Me, expanding your physical and mental fitness group. This group is for individuals who are looking to expand both their physical and mental fitness while helping and supporting others with similar goals all along the way. In this group, we talk about three main areas: physical fitness and mental fitness, which is right in the name of our group. But we also talk about nutrition, and that is today's topic. So we're going to be diving into how to eat good and feel good. So often we end up getting stuck in the same rut of eating the same thing over and over again, or we end up eating things that just are not super great for us, and we definitely feel the effects of them. So before we get into it, I see we have one person walking. For those of you who are at home and are able to keep up, we are going to take a little stretch break because I don't know about you, but I've been in front of the computer for a little bit and we're going to move. So let's stand on up. I don't care what the camera angle is. We're just going to move for a few minutes. Stand up nice and tall and just start rolling those shoulders back and down. Getting everything nice and loose. And then from here, you're going to bring your hands into your chest. Make sure you have a nice solid base. And we're going to do our prayer chest opener. So for some of you, you might have done this. I'm going to demo it once. So we want to make sure we go when we do. But we want to go up with our hands, open big and wide, hands back together, and then down to our chest. So we're going to do 5 of these together. So let's come up, really reach open, reach those fingers out, squeeze those shoulder blades together, bring those hands back together at the top, and come on back down to your chest. Good, that's 1. We have 4 more. Up, think about keeping your core nice and tight. Hands come together, and down, that's 2. Big inhales, we come up, open, hands back together at the top and down. That's 3. We have 2 more. Up, open, together and down. And we have 1 more here. Big open. Wiggle those fingers one last time. Together and down. Good. Move those shoulders back and down in some nice and easy shoulder rolls. Perfect. Now you can take a seat. Simple and quick. Took us all, what, like 35 seconds? So awesome. We have such a big group today. I am excited. For those of you who are on Facebook, make sure you're commenting along with questions, comments, concerns, anything that's popping up along the way. And if you're watching the replay at any point, let us know, drop hashtag replay or live to let us know which version you are watching. And we're gonna do introductions. Oh, big group today. So who wants to start? Any volunteers to tell us who you are, where you're from, and do you have a favorite summer snack or meal? Anyone volunteering? Go for it, Karen. And then you call on the next person.
Okay, I am Karen Wheatley. I live in Rosinson, Maryland. And one of my favorite summertime snacks, meals is Maryland blue crabs. So good. So good.
How do you normally cook that? Is that eat it and like eat it raw, or how do you cook that as your preferred method?
You kind of steam them like you do lobsters. And we usually just always get them already done because I don't know how long you would do them. So you just pick up a basket of crabs and some beer and you go and just hang out with people because it takes forever to get full. But it's just fun. It's very social.
I love it. Who would you like to call on?
I'm going to pick on iPhone, who is Kelly.
Hey. I imagine it's really loud. Apologies. I am out for my lunch walk and lunch. I am Kelly from Holt, Michigan, and anything on the grill is my favorite summertime food.
Oh, do you Would you prefer to have someone else grill it for you or for you to grill it?
Oh God, someone else to grill it. And it, like skewered with some vegetables. That's ideal.
Perfect. And
I don't know how to mute myself. So if you can do that, Morgan, that'll take care of a lot of your background noise.
I got you muted. You're good. You'll just have to unmute yourself, which should be the bottom left-hand corner when we decide when you want to talk again. Or I'll just control you the whole time. And it's Brescia.
Brescia.
Yes.
Sorry
Perfect.
about all the kids' background noise from them. But I was actually also thinking, I'm from Buffalo, Missouri, and I was also thinking like anything on the grill. But since she already said that, I'm going to just say grilled pineapple is one of my favorite things in the summer.
Oh, I'm not sure I've done that. I've had it on like skewers, but I've never just thought of like grilling it on its own.
Yes, it's really good. And sometimes I'll like glaze it with some honey before I put it on there. It's not necessary at all because pineapple's pretty sweet, but like honey or like just cinnamon, it's so good.
Ooh, I love it. I love hearing what you guys like and different ideas. Tanya, how about you? Who are you? Where are you from? And what is your favorite summer snack or meal?
Hey, I'm Tanya Wemhoff, and I'm in Clarks, Nebraska, which, as Karen's heard me say, and Kelly, in the middle of nowhere. And I'm exhausted today, so I'm in my husband's recliner, and I was on the phone, but I got back on here. So my favorite is corn on the cob.
Ooh, any specific way?
I've done it where you've soaked it and then leave it in the husk and pull the silks out and put it on the grill. So it's kind of steamed. That's really good. Otherwise, shoot, just boil it for a minute and eat it.
I learned last year. So one of our neighbors has he like sells sweet corn. He's paired with a farm around here, and it is so good that you can eat it raw, and it is amazing. And I never thought about that. And he's like, yeah, you can cut it off the stalk and also freeze it so you have real sweet corn, or like summertime sweet corn all year round. I'm like, you just changed what? Yeah, so I get a lot of raw sweet corn last year because it was so good and fresh. Perfect. So today we are talking about eating good and feeling good and how we can get in these ruts of eating the same thing over and over, not adding variety, not having meals that are balanced, which in turn leads to us not feeling very good, allows us to give ourselves permission to go out and eat out more because we're like, I just don't want to eat the same thing. When if we can teach ourselves 3 tips that I'm going to teach you today, I'm also going to show you 3 recipes that you guys will have an opportunity to claim for your own. Tanya, I love it. That you guys are going to be able to implement little differences this summer so that you're not stuck in that rut. So you're not stuck eating the same things every single day, and that you feel good and you're fueling your body correctly. So you want to move. So you want to go do those things. Because I don't know about you, but I've definitely ate something that has not made me feel good. That has been like, I just want to sit on the couch and lay here because I just feel like I feel like a marshmallow. I don't want to go anywhere. This is what I want to do because of what I've ate. So if we can incorporate some really good and especially seasonal items in the summer, it's going to give us more energy. It's going to make us want to go out and enjoy the sunshine rather than I feel awful. Let me sit in here in the inside where it's not nice and sunny. So just as a disclaimer, I never used to be a person that had variety. In college, I think I made chicken in a pan with butter or oil. I'd cut it up, I'd throw it in a pan, and then I'd either season it with Lowry's or garlic salt. That was my chicken. That was all I did with my chicken. And then I made, do you guys know what the Knorr rices are? The KNORR, like the 7-minute. They're not horrible for you unless you're eating a bag a day. then those kind of add up, but they were quick and easy. So I was eating those. And then I would eat frozen veggies. I'd throw a bag of microwavable veggies. That was literally the staple. And that was the max of my cooking, minus some eggs that I'd make in the morning, because eggs are easy. And I feel like if you don't know how to make eggs, learn how to make eggs. You can make them all different types of ways. But I didn't have variety, which then meant I wanted to eat out more. I would then, come summer, when we all want to feel our best and look our best, I would not want to be in a swimsuit. I would be the person that, I'm not going to sit here or wrap myself up in my towel, because I just had something super filling, super greasy that didn't really make me feel good. Whereas if I would have taken time to create some variety, maybe make a yummy salad, eat something that was more seasonal, expand my variety a bit, I'd feel more like I do today, where I can eat something and be like, oh, I feel good. Okay, I'm going to go out and sit in the sun and not have to feel like I have to cover myself up because I feel so sometimes. So obviously that has changed. For those of you who know me really well, I love to cook, and I cook just about anything and everything, to the point where I like to think people say, wow, that was really good, instead of, oh, that was good, thanks for making food. Like, I get a little bit more of a compliment behind what I make now, because I've given myself permission to get creative and know if it doesn't turn out, it doesn't turn out. Because that's the best part about cooking. Nothing has to be exact measurements. Remember that. Baking, you have to. I don't like baking. That makes me follow things. I want to be able to throw in how much of whatever I want and have it turn out however it is. So we're going to do 3 tips here, and then we'll have a little discussion, and then we'll go into some of the recipes. So I have 3 tips that I want to share with you guys to remember this summer. And the first thing is exactly what I just said. Don't be afraid to mess up or get creative in the kitchen. Like, I put the randomest foods together that you may not think work well, but they're actually delicious. Like, goat cheese pairs with just about everything. Like, if you start thinking of some vegetables that you may not eat, can you pair it with some Parmesan cheese and some really good seasonings to make it taste better? So don't be afraid of messing it up, because unless you burn it to a crisp or you don't cook it and it's supposed to be cooked, you really haven't screwed it up, I promise. Like, it will still be edible in some sort. Tip number 2, look for seasonal fruits and veggies. So when I think seasonal, and I want to know kind of, because we're all kind of in different states too, I want to know what's seasonal in your area. For us, we have sweet corn, squash and zucchini is something I see at farmers markets a lot. What else do I see? I see like strawberries and cherries, some of these fruits that are summer fruits, and taking advantage of purchasing them when they are in season. They're also going to be a little bit cheaper when they're in season based on off season. If we've ever gotten a quart of strawberries in the winter, they're more expensive than a quart of strawberries in the summer. So take advantage of those in-season fruits and veggies that you can. And we're going to go back to that because I want to hear from you guys. But the number 3 is, if you have a grill, use it. Don't be afraid to learn how to use it. We grew up with a grill, and my mom can laugh at this, where you had to kind of like push the button that didn't really work and then light the lighter and like hopefully make sure you weren't too close. Like, make sure you have a grill that you feel comfortable using, because that one gets you outside, teaches you a new technique, and same sort of thing. On a grill, I always suggest, if you're unsure about the cooking length of anything, always Google it and always cook it a few minutes longer. If it's dry, you can always add sauce, but you'd rather have your meat cooked a little bit more, especially chicken, than not cooked at all. And the grill has a little bit more of a temperament, I've found, when I do it. Usually that's a thing I delegate to Mike because he enjoys it, but I can start this grill, so I know how to go out and use it if I needed to. And you can throw your veggies on there. You can throw your pineapple. You can throw all sorts of your meats, your potatoes. There's so much you can do on the grill just to get yourself outside. And if you're like us, we get snow, and I'm not grilling out in the snow. I'm not taking that cover off. It's not happening. So embrace those types of things that you can do only in the summertime, because that's going to create variety, at least for these next couple months. So I want to go through, and I want to hear from you guys about number 2 and what types of seasonal vegetables either you kind of go to or ones that you're like, I've never tried it, but I want to try it this year. Tanya, you want to start us out? I know your husband's a farmer, so you probably have, I like to think you've probably tried some vegetables that maybe we haven't. You're a radish girl. You're like a random
Yeah, I'm a radish girl. I blew Morgan away because when I was trying to control my weight, which is a free for all right now, my go-to snack was radishes because they crunch. And I like the crunch. But my husband only grows soybeans and corn, so no. And the raccoons eat the sweet corn before you can get to it. So I have to go into Columbus, and I usually buy my sweet corn there. But otherwise, you know, I like squash. But have you ever tried to cut open a, you know, acorn squash or that yellow squash? I don't like to work for my food. I'm pretty lazy.
You and me both. You want to know a tip?
Yeah.
So take your big knife, poke like 8 to 10 holes in it, pop it in the microwave for 3 to 5 minutes.
Oh, well, I've
Let it
popped it in the
cool and
microwave, but the holes.
Yep, the holes are going to let the water and some of the air expend so that once it's in the microwave, pull it out after 3 to 5 minutes, and then you can cut it
Oh.
completely open.
Good to know. I like
It's
that.
a game changer.
Yeah, because I'm not, you know, you should have seen me. It would have been, if we had filmed it, it would have been entertaining.
So perfect. So acorn squash or summer or like spaghetti squash, anything else that you like to kind of switch up in the summer, fruit or vegetable wise, you don't usually
Zucchini.
eat in the winter.
Zucchini. I like to chop up zucchinis with onions, and even in the house, I'll put it in a skillet, cook it up, put a beef bouillon cube in it, and then when it's sauteed and the onions are clear, I put fresh tomato in it, and then mozzarella over the top. It's awesome.
That sounds delicious. I
It
like
is.
that.
And it's
Oh.
easy.
It does. It's simple and easy is my type of recipes. Like all these
Mhm.
recipes that include 45 ingredients that you only need a pinch of everything. I'm not owning that many spices. It's not happening. Like
I have dead Indian spices in my cupboard that I've never used. They're probably dead by now.
I don't know what dead Indian spices are.
That means they're no longer have any flavor, like your
Oh.
fish. Remember yesterday with the fish?
Yes. Dead fish. Yes. Okay.
Karen gets
how
it
about
right.
you? What types of fruits and veggies do you usually go to, and how do you usually get your fruits and veggies in the summer to switch it up?
Well, the farmer's market's too early and it's 40 minutes away. So, so if I do, I usually get it at the grocery store. I know that if I make a protein shake, I use blueberries
Perfect.
year round. And then besides radishes, my other go-to is strawberries.
Yum. I like it. Karen, how about you? What pops up for you kind of when you think about this in summertime and the variety?
Well, I'm so weird. So I got a bag of frozen mango from Costco because I'm like, I'm gonna do this. And it's been in the freezer since I bought it. And we went to a barbecue the other night, and I thought, I'm gonna be that person. So I brought mango and chopped up strawberries and made a salad.
Yum.
And everybody they were like, oh, this is so good. And I ate some. I'm like, oh, this is so good. And I haven't eaten it since, like, why does it taste better at other people's houses? I don't understand that. But anyway, I love sweet corn. I'm totally with you. My stepson grows a lot of sweet corn. And so we freeze a lot and we have it all year long. And it is just delicious on salads. And it's delicious, anytime. I love tomatoes. We have tomatoes here quite often. I'm growing red onions and white onions for the fall because we go through a lot of onions and I just figured that would be kind of cool. Next year, I'd like to grow carrots. So that's my big thing. But zucchini, we eat a lot of. We'll take a zucchini, kind of similar to what Tanya said, and we will slice it into little rounds and then top it with tomato sauce, mozzarella, and a little pepperoni. And they're little like zucchini pizzas. And we can go through a whole zucchini, like that's our pizza for the night. And Mike even likes it.
I love that. I've
Yeah.
seen those, but I've never done them. So it
So
actually,
good.
do you cook the zucchini then, or is it raw?
It's raw, you bake it. So you just like kind of slather it with olive oil and then build your pizza on top of it. And so good. Yeah.
Oh,
So we're good with that. I do like squash. Haven't done a whole lot with them. I like the idea of eating them, but so we have access to a lot of stuff. I just don't utilize it, and I don't crave fruits and vegetables like I should yet.
I think there's certain times where we crave a fruit and vegetable, and then there's times when we don't crave it. Like, I don't think I've met anyone who craves a vegetable all of the time. I maybe know one person. But she also grew up with a lot of vegetables. So I think it's also did we grow up eating vegetable all the time? I did not. We were supposed to, I just didn't enjoy them. My mom looks. We had them, I just didn't really eat them.
Yeah.
So Mom, how about you? Fruits, veggies that are in season, and how do you usually get them?
So usually what I find at somebody's little roadside stand by their house, so whatever one of my friends' kids are growing, zucchini is the main one. I really like zucchini. Asparagus is another one. I'm frugal, so I always buy the fruit that's in season because it's the most economical. Yeah, and I just want to go on record as saying I wasn't in charge of the grill, and I would never light it or use it because it was never safe. I just want to go on record.
No, it was not safe. It was like, close your eyes and hope you still have your eyebrows. Like, perfect.
Now,
Millie, I see you jumped in.
Yes, thank you. I was glad to get on. I was on another line. So you're asking about how you get your fruits and vegetables, or I missed.
So I shared 3 tips, and the tips were: don't be afraid to mess up when you're cooking. The other one was look for fruits and vegetables that are in season. And the third one was use your grill if you have one. So we went back to number 2 to kind of see what kind of your favorite fruits and veggies are for the summer, and kind of how do you get them, or what's your preferred method? Because summer is when we have all these farmers markets and pop-ups and things like that.
And I do love the farmers markets. I stop whenever I could see one, or if I'm available and I'm home. But I love Aldi's. I go to Aldi's all the time. Zucchini's like my go-to veggie. I absolutely love it grilled. I cut it lengthwise, salt, pepper, olive oil, and I grill it. I love it. I could eat probably, like, I eat a whole pack because it's just soft and it's delicious. I like also zucchini squash. I eat that a lot. I make that in the microwave, cut it in halves, and put it in the microwave, and I'll add different things to that and make it like a pasta. But I like kale too. And I'll get that at a farmer's market, and I love baking it and making like kale chips, and I just keep it on the counter and I bake it with, the olive oil, and I use different seasonings, but I have one that's like spicy salt. So it's like a peppery, salty, delicious. And then I just eat it, and it's on the counter, and I eat it all day long. And literally a bunch of kale like that, I could eat that whole thing because the way I prepared it. But I love it in salads. I chop it up. I just like kale. So yeah. I like a lot of vegetables. I'm not afraid of it.
Good.
And I like to cook and I like to, just create. So like I just had zucchini fritters and I just literally shred up a whole zucchini, like a big zucchini, shred it up with a couple of eggs. And I add the zucchini and maybe a little onion and a little Parmesan cheese and I fry them up and they're like about this big and they're like snacks. So I'll eat that. That was my breakfast or kind of lunch today. But they're so good.
I like that. Do you have a recipe for that by any chance, Millie? Or have you kind of created it on your own?
Yeah, that's kind of it. It's super easy. Sometimes I'll add a little flour to it, but you don't really need it. And I add always a spice. When we were in Italy, I got this one spice that I don't know, they call it pecorino, which is like cheese, but it's a spicy, peppery deliciousness. And I've been adding that to everything. But it is good. And it's just a yummy snack. And sometimes I'll do it with, 6 or 8 eggs and I'll make several of them. And Phil and I will eat that throughout the day because I'll keep it out on the counter. But that was my lunch after my walk today.
Nice. I love that. I love the idea of the fritters. I always think of crab cakes when I think of those. But I never think about getting creative with like chicken or any sort of veggies.
And so shredding it just adds a different texture. And I honestly, like if I bake a cake or if I do anything, I add zucchini to it all the time because it adds that moisture and I'm not straining the water out of it. That's why it's nice with those eggs and makes them kind of like a fritter because you have the water from the zucchini. So they are yummy.
Perfect. Thank you. And Brescia, your little ones are adorable. Hi, guys.
They're driving me nuts. This is one thing that keeps me off of these Zooms a lot is I know that my kids are, anyway, chaos. But I love asparagus and zucchini and squash. But I find that I prefer squash deep fried, so I do try to avoid that. And here locally, we've been having a lot of, we have a lot of like Mennonite communities, and they have a lot of really good fresh produce. And they've been having really good strawberries and lots of zucchini and cucumbers and watermelon. And then like I love asparagus, but no one else in my family will eat it. Yeah, and I like a lot of the vegetables grilled. That's my favorite way to prepare most of them. And like this one that keeps choking me out over here, I can't hardly get her to eat anything, but she loves like grilled corn. She can eat that all day long. So I try to buy stuff that my kids will eat, and it's so difficult sometimes. And
I was one of those kids. And looking back, do you ever make smoothies at home, like for you or for them?
Yes, if I make them for me, they'll drink half of it.
So a really easy way to get vegetables in without knowing it is throwing in like your spinach or your mixed greens into the smoothie with your fruit, because it tastes really good and you can't even tell. So I find disguising it as best as you can to make it like not seem like what it is.
Yes, I do the spinach a lot in the smoothies. And this morning I got up early and I got to have the whole smoothie to myself, but normally they all end up drinking most of it. And I don't know if this is something we really have locally, but the girls, they can eat grapes all day long. And and they're really good right now.
Mommy, I'm hungry.
Great.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Mommy, I'm hungry. Wait, I was like, what is that?
Awesome.
They're
I
hungry.
love that. I love hearing the fruits and vegetables, and it really sounds like we all kind of like zucchini, which zucchini was one that, like, I think my mom made it once with like oil on the stove with some Parmesan cheese on top. And that's how anything that I could put cheese on was the first way I started to like vegetables. But you guys are all vegetable likers. I'm not going to say lovers, but likers in some capacity. So thinking of ways to cook it that is different as well. So maybe you haven't liked asparagus in the past. Maybe try grilling it this summer. Maybe, oh, Karen, you gotta.
Yeah, really quick, I learned asparagus, you bake it with bacon bits, olive oil, and oh, what's the crumbly cheese? Feta cheese.
That sounds good.
We eat asparagus all the time now. And I'm like, okay, feta cheese, bacon. Okay. You
Yeah.
just
I like
cut
it.
up, like cut it up into little pieces like that big. It's easy.
Yum.
So anyway, just thought I'd share it.
I learned a new, I mean, you know, those reels on this stupid Facebook, sometimes you get lost in it.
Yes.
I saw somebody do something and I tried it, and it was for your fruits, because I'll bring home raspberries, blueberries, blackberries, all that. But like with raspberries especially, they would go bad so quick if you don't eat them. But I put them in a mason jar, and I put a little piece of paper towel, dampen it, and put the raspberries in there. And I swear they last for a week or more. I mean, if they last that long, but I usually eat them faster than that, but they really last. And I've tried it with strawberries and blueberries, and it works. So put them in a mason jar if you want to just extend the life, or you know, I used to just keep them in the containers that they come in, those plastic containers. And it really works. Nice little hack.
I like that hack, Millie, because it reminds me of, I do it with my spinach. So if you buy your spinach in like the plastic containers, put a paper towel in and then store it upside down, and it keeps it from getting mushy and green.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yep. It's funny
Like
because
container,
one day Mike was like, why do you keep storing it upside down? I said, because I saw it and it's supposed to make it so it doesn't get gross and it lasts longer. And it does. And then when
Okay.
it does get gross, throw it in the freezer so you have it for your smoothies.
Good idea. Good idea.
Same with your fruit. If it's smushy but it's not moldy yet, throw it in the freezer so you don't have to buy frozen veggies.
Right.
And you're not having to waste, because fruit and veg, everything's really expensive right now. So if you can save and repurpose as much as you can, you'll be very grateful in the long run, especially because bags of fruit is really expensive when you go to the store.
Yeah.
Tanya?
When you say upside down, you mean in the container they're in?
Yep. So I usually get my spinach or my whatever it is in a big clear container that opens up. So what I do is once I've pulled my stuff out, I put a paper towel on top, shut it, and then I store it this way.
Huh. And
Because
then
then all the
Karen,
moisture goes to the paper towel.
do you cut up your asparagus, or you leave it long, or what do you do?
Nope, I cut it up into like little pieces about that big and bake it at 350 for about 40 minutes.
Do
And
you
if you
put
really-
the bacon bits already as you cook it, or you cook the bacon ahead of time, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, you either do bacon bits or cook the bacon ahead of time and just crumble that in there, cover it with feta cheese, pop it in the oven. Oh, if you really like it, you can broil it at the end and the feta comes out like,
Ooh.
like really, really good.
Do you guys have any questions on the 3 tips that we just went over? Questions, comments, concerns, anything else you want to share before we move into 3 recipes? Karen, what you got?
Does your Ninja grill count as a grill?
What's a Ninja grill?
Does anyone have a Ninja?
I have an air fryer. Is it like an air fryer?
Oh, it's world changing. World changing. It's a Ninja extra. I have an extra large and a regular one because we grill so much indoors all year long.
Oh, can
This
you
is
share
like
the link in this video on Facebook after we're done so that we can
Yeah.
see what it is? So
Yeah.
do you use that instead of a grill?
Mhm.
Like an
It's
outdoor grill?
it's almost like it's better than a George Foreman, I guess, but it's a similar kind of concept.
Okay.
But our extra large Ninja we can put 6 burgers on it. And
Wow.
so I'm just thinking, well, yeah, we grill because that's kind of a grill.
That counts. And
Okay.
the reason I say use your grill is because we get so much snow and we don't use it as much in the winter. So take advantage of it when the summer is nice, and don't forget about it, especially if it's in a spot in your house that you don't always see it. Like, don't forget it's back there and go and use it. We see ours on our back patio, so we see it enough, but it doesn't always mean it's always that extra work. Take the cover off, make it do a thing. So it is, but it just tastes so much better. Grilled food is just so good.
I love it. Yeah.
So any other questions, comments, anything before I share my screen here with you guys? Okay. Share, let's see. Awesome. Can you see this? Okay, so I just learned this recipe. I saw it off of somebody I actually used to go to school with, and I changed it a little bit to make it my own. And I actually made this for lunch earlier this week, and it is amazing. So canned chicken, you can get it at Costco, Aldi. It's going to be a little bit thicker. I know, Mom, I think you're gonna have issues seeing this on your phone.
Oh, maybe because she doesn't like it.
That could be it too. So your canned chicken, depending on where you shop, I can usually find them next to like the canned tuna. They have the little bigger. I made just 1 serving of this earlier this week, and I was able to have it for 2 lunches. But this right here makes 6 servings. You have your canned chicken, which has your protein in it. You have your plain Greek yogurt, which is always a really good alternative to some of those mayos because there is more protein in it. It's also a good thing to dip your real chicken in if you're looking for like a wet coating before you put some crumbs on it. A little bit of light mayo, whatever brand you prefer. I use Aldi brand, and I don't think mine's light. I think mine's normal. Apple, dice it up whatever size chunks you enjoy. I like to go really small, so I still have a crunch, but they're not like I have a full apple in my mouth. I don't like celery, so I don't put celery in mine. Onion, if you have red onion, dicing that up, I suggest less is more to start, unless you are someone who really, really likes onion and wants a lot of it and for you to taste and smell like it all day long. I say start with little, and you can always add more. And then my favorite to put in there is pepper, and then everything like bagel seasoning. I don't know if any of you guys have purchased that, but if you're an Aldi shopper, in their spice section, they actually have a knockoff everything jalapeno, everything seasoning, and then just a normal. And the jalapeno has just enough kick to it where it's like, it just makes it a little bit more peppery essentially. And it's really good. So this is a super simple recipe that you guys can make at the beginning of your week, store in the fridge. You mix it all in a big bowl, and then you can store it in whatever Tupperware containers you want and kind of scoop out as you go. Tanya, what question you got?
It's not really a question, but I do like celery, even though you don't like celery. And I especially sometimes I'll throw it in with when I'm cooking. And I have a tip for how you keep it because it seems to go bad before you ever use it. If you cut it all up, and I make small packages and wrap it up in foil and put it in where your vegetable tray is, it'll keep for a month or so. It's unbelievable. Just by putting it in foil. You clean it, chop it up, and put it in foil. Not little pieces, but stock pieces. It works. Great for soup.
Interesting.
Kind of weird, huh?
Good to know.
Yeah, because
it
always spoils
you
before I ever use it.
Butter and chocolate on it for me to eat. And then the bag always gets like wet.
The other thing I do with celery is I cut it and I put it again in those mason jars, but with just a little water on the bottom of it. And then it's easy for me to take out as a snack. So I cut them in, just about strips like that. Then that last for over, a week or so at least, because I usually eat it quicker.
Nice. I like that. And as we're on the veggie talk, I actually bought carrots for the first time in a while, because every time I buy a bag of baby carrots, I feel like they get soggy and they go bad, and then I have to bake them to make them like actually edible. I bought the long, like Peter Rabbit carrots this time. I've been grabbing like 2 of those out of the fridge this week, like every day, because they're easy and they just have a different crunch to them. So if you know the veggies you're eating are going bad, try eating them in a different way, or storing them in a different way, like we've been talking about too, is a great way.
Mm-hmm.
Your Peter Rabbit carrots will taste so much better than those little water carrots that they give you.
They do. I think that's also why I'm eating so many of them, because
yeah, I love buying like the different color carrots. That's where the farmer's market comes in, and they're the Peter Rabbit ones. I never thought of them as that, but I love them, and I love serving them like that. When I cook, I'll keep the tops on them and cook them. They just are pretty.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love those, and they are a totally different taste than those little bagged ones.
Mm-hmm.
And with this chicken salad, this is a really, the way I actually saw this was somebody had this like out on the boat. This was like one of their snacks. So when you're out on the boat or you're out with people, this is a really nice snack that you can make. But you can also just have it on a sandwich with some toast. You can throw it in a wrap. You could eat it with some pretzels. You could have it with crackers. Like you can pair it with a lot of different things. And if you're someone who's never bought chicken salad before, canned chicken, buy just one, drain it out, and it does look funky. It looks funky, but it's supposed to look that way. It's supposed to look a little slimy and like fall apart. So when you open it up, don't be alarmed, because I was my first time. I thought it was gonna look like tuna. It didn't look like tuna, and I was like, what is this?
I'm not really a canned chicken gal. I'd rather buy a rotisserie chicken or something, but I did buy that canned chicken once at Costco, and they come in like packs of 6.
Yeah.
And it's the first time I really ever had canned chicken. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
I never would have thought canned chicken, weird, but it is good. It really is. And you do better to drain it, like you said.
And it's convenient is the other thing. Is you could also probably do this recipe with a rotisserie chicken if you pull it off and shred it. But I like the canned chicken because it's quick, easy, and I think a can is like all day like $1.20. So the price point is a little bit better when I'm making it in bulk and it's for lunch for me.
Yeah.
Recipe number 2, grilled Italian chicken kebabs. So some of you guys already talked about grilling and kebabs. And what you'll do is you'll take 2 pounds of boneless chicken breasts, some Italian dressing, and you'll put it in a bag, and you'll essentially let that marinate for hopefully at least an hour. If you can do it overnight, you'll get better and deeper flavors. But if not, try to at least an hour. You can use either fresh minced garlic, or you can use, how you can buy like those little glass jars of garlic that are already minced in olive oil. You can use that as well. Red onion, you have your peppers of your choosing. You want 2 of them. Zucchini, summer squash, and I don't like mushrooms, so mushrooms are always optional. It's a texture thing, and like the smell of them when they're cooked is not very great in my opinion. But I also put colored peppers of your choosing, because look for what's like at the farmer's market or wherever you're at. If the green peppers are cheaper this week, use the green ones, or you can mix up your flavors. The squash and zucchini, I suggest doing them in either circles that are a little thicker or into like half. So circle it and then half it. The circles are going to stay on the kebab a little bit better. Remember that if you do use wood skewers though, you want to soak them in water so they don't burn up as soon as you put them on the grill. I've done that in the air fryer, and I'm like, what the heck happened to my skewers? These are on fire now. So remember that either to soak them or to use metal skewers if you have them. And you can always add steak or shrimp to this recipe. I just kind of kept it simple because you guys know me, keep it simple to the point. And this is something that you could make these kebabs on Sunday and you could have them for lunches throughout the week. Like just because you make them on the day of does not mean, because this makes 8 kebabs, so you can make extra. And then this is my favorite. And some of you may know this from different states as not being a Michigan cherry salad. But this is my all-time favorite salad of all time. Like it is my favorite. You're going to use spinach or mixed greens, dried cherries, walnuts, blue cheese or feta. I prefer blue cheese, but you can choose based on what you are looking, kind of what your flavor palette is. Blueberries or strawberries based on what's in season. And I can interchange them. Red onion, once again, start with little and you can always add more. I don't dice it. I keep it. So I cut it in a circle and I essentially cut it into like fourths so that they're big enough for if I want to pick it out, I can, and I don't have to work really hard to pick out the onion if I don't want it. And then raspberry vinaigrette as a drizzle on top. And then I like to grill my chicken or pan fry it. George Foreman, like Karen said, that's a great way too. And then I just cut it up and it is the most delicious salad. It's got the perfect amount of sweetness, perfect amount of savoriness that like, if you've never tried a salad like this, you will really like it. And if you don't like it, please let me know because I feel like I haven't met anyone who hasn't liked it. I will also sometimes use a honey mustard dressing instead of a raspberry vinaigrette. So you can kind of interchange those depending on that flavor palette that you're looking for. So these are the 3 recipes that for any of you guys who want it, all of you who are on the call already on Zoom with me, I'm going to send you a message with this. For those of you who are on Facebook watching live or the replay, just drop summer in the comments and I will get you these 3 recipes. I'm going to stop screen sharing wherever my little button is. Stop share. Perfect. And I want to go around the room because we are getting close on time here. We're getting close to the end. I want to know what your biggest insight from today was, and what are you going to try to do this summer to help fuel your body and give yourself some different variety than you normally would, so that you're not left in the nor rice, chicken, and microwave veggies. So you're not stuck in that. Who would like to go first? Tanya, you want to go?
Sure. I have a couple of big takeaways. The paper towel thing, guys, Millie and Morgan gave me, I'm definitely going to use that. Number 2, I want to use Karen's, I'm going to try that asparagus thing, but I'm still curious, how big around is your zucchini when you do the pizza? Is it this? It's real little?
Yeah.
And then you put mozzarella?
Yeah, you just they're like little tiny pizza up. I
Like
can put
pizza bites.
Pizza bites.
Oh,
Yeah.
and that's a meal?
If you have a big enough zucchini.
Because here's my thing. I don't know that, my husband eats green beans and corn. And that's it. Doesn't like peas, doesn't like this. So that might be something that might work. He'll eat my zucchini dish.
Yeah, try it.
Okay.
And you can always cook chicken on the side if you need something more filling too. If you realize that, I don't know if maybe you have a really small zucchini, you can always pair that with some sort of meat on the side, because I know he's a meat and potatoes person, Tanya.
Yeah, remember, I don't cook.
Right, that's true. Any other takeaways, insights, or anything else you want to share? And what are you going to do this summer to try to keep some variety in your diet?
Are you still talking to me?
I am.
Yes, I forgot to tell you, I go to Daniel's Produce. They have a market, they have a huge farm. So I'm definitely going to make sure when I stop, I don't just buy tomatoes and zucchini.
Perfect. I love it. Karen, how about you? Insights, takeaways, and what are you doing this summer?
Takeaways. I want us all to get together and cook one weekend. I think that would love really cool. I do. I always feel better when I eat a lot of vegetables and fruit. I do. And yet I don't cook that for myself or make anything for myself or Mike throughout the summer. And he's always saying, I don't want anything heavy tonight because it's so hot. I don't want anything heavy. So I just need to do it. I need to, there's so many good things, like you said, right now that we should take advantage of. And the heavy can be saved for winter when we're all hibernating and that kind of thing. So I like the paper towel thing as well. And the use of mason jars when you're not canning. Yeah. So I got a lot of good stuff. I got a lot of notes today.
Perfect. And I love that you mentioned that we don't want anything heavy in the summer, because we don't. And whether you're at home and it's hot or you're out and about with people, you don't want the big pasta dish. You don't necessarily want that huge, like, think of what type, like those little mini pizzas, I think are perfect because you can get full off of them, but they're not going to leave you feeling sluggish. So getting creative with the vegetables, and without knowing it, we talked about fruits and vegetables today. You guys thought we were just going to talk about eat good, feel good. We talked about fruits and vegetables. So making sure you're also getting in your fruits and vegetables, and you're at least one fruit and one vegetable a day. If you're not eating any, is a really good goal. And Tanya, I wanted to mention to you, radishes, made these, cut the ends off, cut it in fourths, olive oil, and bake them. And they taste like potatoes.
I love that. I make those too. Super good. Like, you don't know you're eating a potato. You think it's a potato.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I usually try to buy radishes all the time too, but try it. The kids will not know.
They're good. Like,
Yeah.
I saw it as one of those reels. I was like, I don't believe it. I don't believe radishes can taste like potatoes. They can. Mine should have been cooked longer, because I did have some crunch, but you can also play around with how much crunch you want and how much softness.
Mm-hmm.
Millie, how about you? Takeaways, insights, and
Well,
what are you doing this summer?
I was just glad I could get on the call. I love being creative in the kitchen. So picking up on the different ideas, the feta cheese with the bacon bits on the asparagus sounds fantastic. I'm going to make that. It's just fun to connect and hear what people are doing. So yeah, thank you.
You are welcome. And Brisha, how about you? You look like you were at the salon there for a moment.
Yeah, sorry. I'm definitely gonna try the asparagus with the bacon and feta also. I normally do like just lemon pepper and it's good, but I love me some bacon bits and I love me some feta. I don't know why I haven't really grilled yet this summer. I actually really enjoy it. And I'm definitely gonna do that probably today because yes, I don't know why, I haven't thought about it, but I'll probably go clean off my grill and fire it up later. So just that in itself, just like, oh, why haven't I done that yet? It's been really nice. So
I have a comment on the grilling because I heard, you mentioned Aldi's a couple of times. That's my favorite store to shop. And they have these grill sheets right now that I bought them way back when from a different source, but they had them there this week and they are fantastic. You put them on your grill so your grill doesn't get dirty, but it still leaves the lines on the food. And they are fantastic. So they have them there right now.
We like to do that with fish on the grill because my biggest fear is that the fish falls through and then you've had this thing of salmon and all of a sudden you have no salmon. That I don't think it's ever actually happened, but that is a fear of mine, that it like gets lost in the grates. So we have one of those sheets that we were given and it is perfect. We've also done burgers on it because then you get some more of like the butter and the grease all sticks with it. So you have like a smash burger, and that's a really good.
Yeah.
So are they reusable or are they just one-time use?
No,
Reuse-
reusable.
Oh,
You
but I
have to
don't have an
wash-
Aldi's.
You can
Um,
get them at any grocery store if they have a grilling section. I think
Oh,
they're
do
just
they?
grill mats.
yeah. So it is.
And iPhone, are you able to give insights and takeaways, or are you out of here for the day?
I can. The trick about the salary is huge because my salary normally goes bad because I don't eat it that quickly. I need to use my grill. But the biggest insight I have is that I want to get on Karen's train, but instead of helping cook, I'm just going to eat while you all get together and cook. I think that would be the best insight for me.
It might be safer with me.
Yeah, me too.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for jumping on today. I loved hearing what you guys do of your own and how a lot of the insights that you guys had were not from me. It was from each other. And that is what I want, is I want us to be able to get together and bounce ideas off of, oh, this is what I do. This is what I do. Because I don't know all of the perfect ways. I know the ways that work for me and that work great. But when I learn something new and we get to try it and actually know when you're going through those reels and be like, somebody else has tried that and that has been successful, I will now actually try it. So I appreciate all of you showing up and being here and interacting and just being here with me on this Thursday. I do have a little announcement that I want to share so you guys are not thrown off. I'm going up to Pictured Rocks next week for vacation for all of you Michiganders who know what that is, or non-Michiganders. We are kayaking and doing all that. So there will be no training next week, but look for at noon, there's going to be a group fitness class that goes out that you guys are welcome to do either at the moment. And then there's also going to be 2 protein recipes that are going to come out. So look for those recipes, look for that class. I still wanted to give you guys something to remind you to come check in on the group at noon next Thursday. But then the following week, we have our Move and Learn workshop where we will be doing exactly what my mom was doing today, walking outside or walking on your treadmill, having a conversation. And I'm excited for our conversation we are going to have. So make sure you guys tune in 2 weeks live. Next week, just be looking for the content to be released. And if you want those recipes, all of you are good, but all of you who are on Facebook, drop Summer in the comments and I will get you those recipes within the next 24 hours. So any other questions, insights, comments before we sign off?
I just love this group.
I did too.
I'm so excited to get on it when I can.
Yeah. me
Yeah.
too.
I'm usually on the road, so
I
on
know.
Thursday.
I'm really happy you were able to be here, Tanya. I know your Thursdays are sometimes up and down with being on
Yeah.
the road enough. So I'm happy you get to be at home and relax right now.
Me too.
And enjoy your weekend, you guys. Get out, move your bodies, get in the sun, embrace the beautiful weather, no matter what temperature it is. And I will see you guys all in 2 weeks live, but look for the stuff next week at noon. Talk to you
Thank
later.
you.
Bye, guys.